What is the debt ceiling is not a dumb question. I think that even for people who know what the debt ceiling is, it can be hard to fully understand and wrap your head around it. The debt ceiling is a statutory limit, so a limit set by Congress on how much debt the United States can have. And it's calculated basically, when we talk about the debt ceiling a lot of the time, we're talking about when we will hit this limit. So the way it works is that Congress lays out spending every year, right? We might be spending that money on Social Security, we might be spending money on education, but if we are putting out more money than we are bringing in from taxes and other revenue, there's a gap there, right? And to fill that gap, Treasury starts issuing notes like bonds, and anyone can buy, a regular investor like you or me could buy them. In a lot of cases, foreign governments buy them, because it's seen as a very safe form of investment. And there are a couple other kind of reasons that they might do that. So everyone holds our debt, really, is the answer. There's a lot of talk about China being the biggest or, a very, very large holder, but the fact is the debt is dispersed all around the world. The debt ceiling has become a constant fight because we have a lot of debt. In recent years, the US has been running up a much bigger tab on the national debt. It is over $31 trillion right now. And that's just a lot bigger than it was prior to the 2009 recession. So I think that there are people who really feel like we should be borrowing less money as a country, and the way that they target that issue is by going after the debt ceiling. Another way to target that issue would be going after the federal budget and cutting spending, right? The problem with cutting spending directly is that it's just a lot more painful to say, we're going to cut Social Security, we're going to cut Medicare. I think it's a lot easier for people to argue about this big picture figure of the total debt, the debt ceiling. So there are a few problems that the United States could run into when it comes to having so much debt. One is that you spend an increasing amount of time just servicing that debt. So I think about 12% of outlays from the federal government right now aren't going towards programs or Social Security or Medicaid. They're just going towards interest and paying back bonds and servicing our debt. So that's one big issue. Another big issue is that at a certain point, you have to think about how are you going to start making these books meet, and that could involve things like raising taxes or other kind of pain on Americans. So this is something that, both just the size of the debt, I think, can be troubling for a lot of people, but there are also very practical things that could catch up to us. It's been very cheap to lend money in recent years, so the interest that we're paying on the debt isn't that high, but that's changing now. So issuing future debt could be a lot more expensive. So will the national debt just keep going up and up, and will the debt ceiling just keep going up and up? It's possible. I think that people who take more of a kind of keep calm and carry on approach to the debt, their point of view is that yes, the national debt is higher than ever, but so is our GDP. So the country and the economy is much bigger than it's ever been, so it kind of makes more sense that the federal government's big, the debt's big, everything is bigger than it was 100 years ago. So I think that we're really in an experiment right now with the national debt where people don't know exactly how this is going to turn out, and it's possible that bringing down the debt is not going to be the answer.